Now, let's talk about where the licensing and practice requirements, where these questions and answers come from. They come from the state of Illinois, Illinois General Assembly website. That's where they're posted, in other words. These are all laws that have been created by the legislature within the state of Illinois. The legislature is known as the Illinois General Assembly. This is a page from their website. It's ilga.gov. And what I'm showing you here is this is the source for the 12 questions in the second row that cover licensing and practice requirements. Here is a breakdown of the same source, the Illinois General Assembly, the criminal and civil laws of the state of Illinois. This is where they get the questions and answers from that source. And you can see they have the categories there, crimes and criminal statutes. They both apply to detectives and or security contractors. In my materials, what I have done here is to show you my estimate of the types of questions and the number of questions you will see from each source. And this is a page from my study guide that I give to all my clients. And this is one, and so on the left-hand side, this describes the types of questions and the number of questions that you will see for private detectives. And then on the right-hand side, I have the same type of information for my security contractor folks. Let's go back to where this information comes from. How do we know where the source material is located and what the state of Illinois uses when they craft all of these questions? What you're looking at here is this is a screenshot from the State of Illinois Study Guide that lists where candidates can go to find information on the questions and answers they will see on exam day. And the number one there, Illinois Criminal Law and Procedure. This is a paper-bound version of the crimes and statutes and criminal offenses and criminal procedure. So if you wanted a hard copy, you might be able to find this at your local library. The second source there is the JCAR rules. And then the third source is Handbook of State Government. My point here is this information is where the state of Illinois obtains the information that they will use to test you on exam day. The other thing to know about this is that for both exams, whether it's the detective exam or the security contractor exam, your questions and answers come from these three sources. This is basically Illinois criminal and civil law, the JCAR rules, which are the rules, the administrative rules for license holders and applicants, and then the third source there, the handbook. This contains the Illinois and U.S. Constitution, as well as other information that you may see on your test as it relates to the makeup of state government, how judges are selected, what a grand jury is made up of, things like that. So these sources are important because if we go back, there will be 12 questions on your exam covering the JCAR rules. So if we broke them down, that number one there, you're going to see, I think there were 23 questions covering Illinois civil and criminal law, as well as the federal laws, eavesdropping, etc. Number two, the JCAR rules, there are going to be 12 questions there. And then number three there is going to come from either the Illinois criminal law or civil law. So altogether, 23 plus 12, that's going to be about 35 questions that will come from these three sources that you will see on exam day. Now, this is the other part of the exam. I just mentioned that the first three sources will account for 35 questions that you will see on exam day. The remaining 40 questions will come from these sources here. And these are the sources that are used for that particular area of expertise. If you're applying for the detective license, then the red book, the criminal investigations book, 40 of your questions on exam day come from that book. If you're taking the security contractor exam, 40 questions will come from either the Intro to Security book or the Principles of Security and Crime Prevention book. Now, so here's an overview again. We're talking about the Illinois criminal and civil laws and where this information comes from and why you should be familiar with it. It comes from Illinois law, whether it's civil law, criminal law, or administrative law, and these are the locations of where that information comes from.